Richard Linklater doesn't follow traditional rules, but tells an honest story through sincere and meaningful cinematic decisions. His films Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight, and Boyhood all experiment with the concept of time. Time is an important theme in these films, but they also follow experimental shooting schedules, which add another creative dimension to their meaning. By studying them, we can see beautiful consistency in Richard Linklater's directing style. Linklater has a few consistent visual trends. He likes the use of a panning camera at the beginning of scenes to sneak towards main characters' private conversations. 2 shots of couples speaking in other languages without translations tell the viewer our characters are not unique. He has meaningful silences to show intimacy amongst the masses of dialogue. He uses simple cutaways to important props to assist the narrative. The rare use of a close-up really emphasises emotional change in an important character, and somewhat random close-ups of unimportant characters deliver a philosophical message. These are the most obvious trends. The most important and unique directing choice, I believe, is the way he elicits natural performances from his actors and the deceptively simple coverage which pulls us into the characters' conversations. The Before trilogy are 3 movies about a couple's relationship shot 9 years apart each. Boyhood is a 12-year project, using the same actors for only a couple of shooting days each year. The film captures one boy's experience of growing up. Linklater's works are examples of cinematic realism, and this is largely due to his shooting style and how he works with his actors. In Before Sunrise, he strongly favours long take 2 shots. This choice helps us feel present in the characters' conversations, and we can feel the present tense much more than in a film that chops and changes between different angles. He focuses on his actors and their conversations in the most simplistic way possible. He wants the camera to be invisible and for us to become completely absorbed by the dialogue. He purposefully avoids drama. His actors are natural and the framing is simple and uncluttered.
I told Rick this, that on Before Sunrise, I learned how to talk on camera. I mean, most of the time as an actor, they ask you, really in certain ways, just strike a certain pose or evoke a feeling or emote or and Rick really wanted us to speak to each other, and it was really challenging for me.
Also, people in real, I mean, you know, we're trying to imitate something or to recreate something as true as possible, as genuine as possible, and people act in real life.
They do.
Real people. I mean, non-actors act all the time.
I know. Jean-Marc Fleury.
Jean-Marc Fleury?
We were at this summer camp together, and he was a swimmer.
Yeah.
We see all of this again in Before Sunset, Before Midnight, and Boyhood. In the Before trilogy, he cast for chemistry between the actors.
Then we all were brought in, and I had to read with different actresses, and the actresses were doing different. You know, he was trying to find the right pair. And I remember he seemed quite serious that he wasn't going to make the movie if he couldn't find the right couple to make it. And Julie and I had an interesting dynamic together, you know. I mean, for sure. I mean, she immediately loathed me.
He included them in completely rewriting scenes so that the dialogue felt natural from both a woman's and a man's perspective. While it's an extremely collaborative process, Linklater is responsible for holding on to the important essence of the story. The performances seem improvised, however, they are meticulously choreographed and rehearsed.
Why me? Why do I have to put my dreams on hold? I don't love that line, my dreams on hold. Do you like it? It's over your head.
Well, we've said it a few times to varying degrees. What would it be? Why do I have...
With my life.
Well, I'm the one who has to compromise.
Why do I...
Why am I the one that has to come?
Why do I have to sacrifice? Why do I
have to?
He also invested a lot of time into helping his cast understand the important and unique direction of the film.
You used to always say that the trouble with this movie is if we write a bad line or if the camera catches Julie and I acting, the whole thing falls apart.
The whole
because
illusion
as soon as you see people acting and you see drama, well then you want a plot. But if the mysterious thing that he was going for was some non-action.
In Boyhood, he wanted people who might grow into their roles. He chose a young boy whose parents were artists because he reminded him of himself. Linklater spent time with Ella Coltrane each year to see how he'd grown and changed as a child. He then built the script around that. When Linklater cast the parents, he chose actors he had a relationship with, but he also chose them because they were new and young parents themselves. Ethan Hawke and Patricia Arquette were able to base their performances on their own experiences with their families. Just like in the Before trilogy, the performances are extremely natural and the shooting style is simple. All of the crazy things that happen over the course of the main character's life are full of drama, but the performances they give are described as being given in a distinctly quotidian register and without usual filmmaking prodding and cues. It is the decision to shoot this film over 12 years that makes it so special. Not recasting with older actors or using makeup to transform their age, but taking the time to keep the characters as authentic as possible helps deliver an experience unlike any other, one which connects so well to our own memories of pieces and moments from our childhood.